A recent DVD pickup. I really enjoy these Turner Classic Movies collections. I have a whole bunch of them, and one that I was able to get recently, the Prohibition Era Greatest Gangster Films collection. These are great films, a good collection, and include probably some of my favorite gangster films in general. I have always had a fascination with the Prohibition era and the Great Depression era. I think one of my favorite eras to look into as far as the cultural changes and the history, and just a big fascination, and a lot of favorite movies and things all come from the time period between the end of World War I and the beginning of World War II. I just have always been fascinated with that era, everything in that time span, and this covers some great movies from there: Little Caesar, Smart Money, The Public Enemy, and The Roaring Twenties. And I have some older Warner editions of Public Enemy and The Roaring Twenties. Public Enemy is probably the first of these four that I ever saw. Might have even been on Turner Classic Movies back in the day. And The Roaring Twenties is my favorite gangster film of all time, because not only do I find it to be an enjoyable gangster film in general, with a lot of great performances, a good story. I like Bogart in that, and James Cagney is incredible. It's my favorite performance of his. Some might disagree, but I really enjoy him in that one, and I love the way it has this semi-documentary aspect to it. It's a great way, especially if you're not super familiar with the time period, or if you're just kind of interested but don't know a whole lot. It can be a real fun way of just kind of getting into what was going on at a certain level in that time period, and adds so much to the story. I just love that sort of pseudo-documentary element they add to the storytelling, and some of these do that, to an extent, but The Roaring Twenties, to me, just brings it to such a fun, fascinating level. Love that movie, and this set has the slipcover, and is a great collection. One thing that some people might not like, that a lot of these do, is the stacking of the discs. So you have Public Enemy, The Roaring Twenties, this here, Little Caesar, and Smart Money. So that is one thing I wanted to make sure that I show, because I know that will bother some people and might be a deciding factor whether or not you like to grab this set. But it is a really fun set. I'm happy to add this to the collection that I have with Turner Classic Movies sets like this. I have a whole bunch. This is just a lot of fun, and these tend to be fairly decently priced. A lot of these collections, there are a few that are more out of print and a little bit harder to get, but a lot of these, it's no more expensive than grabbing the movies individually, sometimes cheaper, and again, a space saver. So the stacking of the discs might be a problem for some people. If you're one of those, then steer clear, buy them individually. But I think this is a great buy, and I'm very excited. I really want to watch Smart Money, because I've only seen it once many years ago. I just very vaguely remember it, so I'm happy to get back into these. And they also include a Warner Night at the Movies, The Roaring Twenties, as an introduction by Leonard Maltin, and some newsreels, a cartoon short, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really fun experience. I love when they do that. So this is a DVD set that I am excited to have, and definitely suggest you check out if you have an interest in any of these, in the Prohibition era in general, or older gangster films. It's just a really good collection of some really great movies.